As we return to the classroom this fall, we are all thinking about how to use this opportunity to give everyone a fresh start. You might have seen or heard the phrase, students must Maslow before they can bloom. We're going to use the work from the educational psychologist Abraham Maslow to discuss 10 must-dos for setting our students and ourselves up for a successful school year. Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains what drives behavior in humans, stating that the base of the pyramid must be in place before another level can be added to it. Although you do not complete one level and then move on completely, they overlap and need continued attention. Without the lower level, it is much more difficult to move to the next level. This is comparable to building a house. You need a solid foundation before you can put walls on, which have to exist before a ceiling or roof can be added to the structure. Once you have the foundation, walls, and ceiling up, the house is not complete and doesn't mean you are done with the foundation. You go back and add flooring, paint the walls, finish the ceiling, etc. So is true for moving up the hierarchy of needs that Maslow shares. We know that the last school year was disrupted for students and created a lot of uncertainty. The reason for this, as explained by Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is that their foundation, their sense of safety, was disrupted. Most of us can relate to this. If you have been driving for many years and then get in a car accident, the next time you get in the car, your sense of safety is not where it was. You might find reasons not to drive. You might be overly cautious as you drive. You might insist that things you were fine with before, like music, talking, or other distractions, can no longer be present. We change our behavior because that basic need of safety was changed. So is true for our students. They had a sense of what school meant to them, and then for many, they did not return to school normally for over a year. Their sense of safety was disrupted, and what is most important at the start of this school year is to meet them where they are. Shore up their foundation so we can help students meet all of their needs. For the 10 tips of starting your school year off right, we're going to focus on the basic and psychological needs of our students: safety, belongingness and love, and esteem needs. There are many students that have physiological needs that also need to be met before safety needs can be addressed, and we implore you to spend time ensuring students have these needs met each day. Seeking additional support through outreach programs offered in your community or asking support personnel in your school, administrators, or guidance can be a powerful step in helping students meet those needs and allow you to help build upon them. Let's take a look first at safety. Students that have experienced trauma, ranging from personal to familial or the disruption of the school year, will need to ground themselves in a sense of safety. Here are some specific ways we can help to meet students' sense of safety. Clearly communicate your expectations. Communication extends beyond the words we say. It's our tone and our body language too. By clearly naming expectations, showing students what the expectations look like, and then providing students a chance to practice, we set them up for success. Teach routines and procedures. Students have experienced altered routines and procedures for the last year, so it will be pivotal to spend time teaching students how to navigate the classroom and the school. It's important to keep in mind that if we ask 4th grade students to line up, they might have a different idea of what that looks like. For example, in one 3rd grade classroom, the students might have lined up at the doors by twos to make the line shorter and accommodate all 29 students in the room. If I expect a single file line, but I haven't taught this routine, it's not the student's fault that they are not doing the routine as I expected. Combining clearly communicating our expectations and teaching routines and procedures provides students with a clear mental picture of what success looks like. Create group guidelines. In order for learning to occur, students need guidelines. Structuring how we will work together will allow us to work together effectively and productively. Taking time to build guidelines as a community of learners creates a sense of safety for students. In working through the process of identifying what actions we must all take in order to learn in the same space together, students develop a sense of safety. They are shown that their ideas are valued, their contributions count, their voice will be heard and recognized. Creating guidelines on how we'll work together also provide students with a sense of safety in that they know you will be there to teach, support, and uphold the guidelines because you are spending time and showing that this is important to learning. Through creating a sense of safety with students, we are then able to meet another need that students have that drives their behavior and actions: belongingness. In order to help your students experience the greatest success possible this school year, focus on creating and nurturing a strong sense of togetherness within your classroom community. Learn and teach everyone's names. Make sure you pronounce each student's name correctly. Have students practice saying one another's names. Give students opportunities to introduce themselves with both their first and last names. When students are speaking to one another or emphasizing a point made by another student, have them practice by using each other's names. For example, instead of Dana saying, "My idea is like hers, I think we should say kind things to one another," it would sound like, "My idea is like Sarah's. We should make sure we are saying kind things to one another." Learn something personal about each student and talk to them about it. It is important that we make personal connections to our students and that we let them know we remember and think about these stories or tidbits shared. When greeting students in the morning, ask them a follow-up question to something they shared with you. "Tyler, you were telling me about Legos yesterday. What's the favorite set you've built so far?" Taking the time to speak to each student about something you know about them lets them know they can talk to you and builds a sense of belonging. Greet students at the door. Each morning, or start to the class period, be at the door and use students' names as they enter the classroom. This act may seem simple, yet is proven to make a significant positive impact on students' engagement and focus in the classroom. Once students have their belongingness and love needs met through strong relationships with adults and students in the building, we are then able to address another need that is critical in encouraging students to take risks in their learning: esteem. All students have a psychological need of esteem, knowing that they contribute good to the community and are able to make valuable contributions. Early on in the year, it is important to make sure that we teach students to feel proud of their accomplishments and to point out the positive growth we are seeing. Identify the talents and contributions each member of the class makes. When building a sense of belonging and learning personal information about each student, we also want to make sure we help build a sense of esteem by providing an opportunity for each student to share their talents and contributions with others. This creates a sense of significance. I am known for X. Others count on me to do this. We need to remember to balance this. There are some students that are shy, and we don't want to push them beyond their comfort level, as that will disrupt their sense of safety in the learning environment. But we do want to gently encourage everyone to share a talent so that they may see each other as individuals they can learn from. A student may come to be known as a helpful friend who shows up and is ready to greet everyone at the start of the day, help pick up an area, or make others feel good about themselves. That does not mean that is their only contribution, but it is one in which we can make sure that students acknowledge through appreciation and support. Focus on reinforcing the positives you are seeing with students, both collectively, as a group, and individually on a daily basis. Pointing out what students are doing well will allow them to meet their need of esteem by hearing their accomplishments and setting the tone for the classroom of learning. We will all continue to grow throughout the year and will celebrate our accomplishments as we do. Have students set small, accomplishable goals at the beginning of the year. Each student will set their own goal, whether it is academic or social-emotional. Help frame the goals for students by having some examples. If you have not done goal setting with students before, so you don't have any examples, think about what students have successfully accomplished in your classroom before, such as a third grader reading a Magic Treehouse book independently, or a first grader inviting 3 individuals in the classroom to play together at recess. The 10th tip is that we must remember that focusing on any one of the previous 9 will help us to build a positive community and address students' needs. However, the true power behind these tips is using them all in conjunction. Returning to the building of the house analogy, If we focus solely on creating the best foundation, including the flooring that we can, but never put up walls or a ceiling or a roof, we will need to continuously repair our foundation every time there is a storm. However, if we create a good foundation, then focus on framing out walls and ceiling and work on each of these, when a storm hits, our solid foundation provides strength to the walls and ceiling, which also protects the foundation. In other words, all of the elements together are stronger together. Likewise, when we focus on all of the stages of Maslow's hierarchy, our students experience greater success and are able to increase resiliency, perseverance, social-emotional competencies, and communication. When students have those needs met, they are able to fully engage in learning, leading to growth and success in academics and social-emotional learning. For more in-depth information on these 10 tips, visit our course, Creating the Conditions for Students to Thrive. In the course, we look at specific strategies and tools for creating the conditions for a year of engagement and fun. You will have a chance to think through expectations, routines, and ways to connect with students. Additionally, you will gain many ideas through planning, reading articles, video viewing, and examining the ideas of other educators, and receive all the downloads and resources you need to start your school year off right. We'd love to hear from you and how you are using these different tips in your classroom this year. For more information on these topics, visit our website and social media pages for courses, articles, resources, and more that promote growth, development, and lead to academic and social-emotional success.